Pests that can devastate cattle populations are getting closer to Texas.
The U.S. Department of Agriculture announced new world screwworms have been found about 70 miles from the border. KVUE's Daniel Perot joins us now in the studio. And Daniel, this is very concerning for cattle and the livestock industries.
Just a couple of months ago, the screwworms were a few hundred miles from the border, as you can see behind me near Veracruz. But slowly but surely, they have made their way north, and those pets have now been found about 70 miles from the border in Sabinas Hidalgo in the Mexican state of Nuevo Leon. That is less than 2 hours from the border, about 70 miles from Laredo. If it does make it to the Lone Star State, it could wreak havoc. At Kenny Landgraf's ranch in Red Rock, southeast of Austin, it's lunchtime. On the menu for his cattle, these cubes.
As they're eating them, they're actually taking the dewormer internally.
The screwworm, parasitic flies that eat the tissues of animals, primarily infecting and killing cows, is at Texas's doorstep.
It's kind of within 100 miles of the border, so I mean, that's very concerning.
We have a $30 billion livestock industry, a $5 billion wildlife industry, so it's very threatening.
Landgraf uses fly prevention measures like insect growth regulators in his cattle's mineral supplements, along with ivermectin, which is poured over the cattle, and Dectomax, which is injected.
That impacts all types of parasites that they may pick up.
In June, Texas created a task force to fight the screwworm, and the USDA announced plans to build a special facility on the border to produce sterile flies to help control the spread.
We've got to do something besides use 70-year-old technology.
Texas Agriculture Commissioner Sid Miller says there's a fly bait that, when coupled with the sterile fly technique, is a 1-2 punch and can eradicate the pest in just 90 days, but says the USDA and Texas Animal Health Commission are not on board.
So we know it works. It's been proven. We've used it before, but they're just very reluctant.
Miller says the sterile fly technique alone will take too long to kill them off, potentially wreaking havoc on the cattle industry and the food supply.
Very frustrating to me that we can't get off high center and eradicate this pest before it becomes a real economic problem.
Back on the ranch, Landgraf says it's important to stay informed but not panic about the threat. Part of the USDA's 5-prong approach to this screwworm is investing $100 million in new technologies and tools to combat the pest. That could include the fly bait that you heard Sid Miller talking about there. The agency is also hiring more mounted patrol officers known as tick riders to focus on surveillance at the border. Jenny Quita.
All right, Daniel, thank you so much. And part of the reason officials are here in Texas are so concerned about screwworms is because of how destructive they can be to the state's economy.
That's right. Screwworms can kill a full-grown cow in just 10 days. The American Farm Bureau reports Texas has the most to lose since it's home to 12.5 million head of cattle. That's 14% of all the cattle in the country.
The Farm Bureau also reports Texas agriculture supports more than 2 million jobs and creates $867 billion in economic impact a year. Now, one screwworm outbreak in Texas back in 1976 once cost the state up to $376 million. Today, that would come out to more than $2 billion.